They tease it, and it's going to be blue as the primary color. It's going to be awesome. I'm so excited. I mean, at least I hope it's going to be awesome. There's a chance that they screw it up. Hello everyone and welcome to Post to Post. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you guys are having a good day. I'm having a questionable day because what I thought was going to be an awesome jersey isn't. I don't hate it as much as most people. We're going to get into all that stuff, but if you're new, my name's Neil. Please consider hitting the subscribe button if you love the NHL, if you love hockey, and if you specifically love jerseys, because we're talking jerseys basically on a regular basis on the channel, and today is no exception. We've got the Nashville Predators Stadium Series jersey that was announced yesterday or late yesterday. Give you my thoughts, and I'll share some thoughts of what some others have as well. So let's bring up the first one on the screens, and this is the Stadium Series jersey, by the way. So this is the first image that I saw, and well, technically not. So there was a teaser the previous day which showed just blue. Basically, it was essentially just blue. It showed a bit of the collar, but it basically just showed blue. It was the beautiful, like, ocean deep blue. It was such a beautiful blue. It obviously still is here on the screen, but they didn't show what people are pissed about, which is the middle of the jersey. And I came away from that teaser thinking, oh my God, they've finally done it. Like, they finally made like the perfect Nashville Predator jersey. This is going to be great. But it ended up being a missed opportunity in my opinion. So there's so many things that I want to say about this jersey. I just want to make sure that I have the right image here. Maybe I'll start with a different image. I'm going to start with the full body image so we can really break it down. And I'm going to zoom in here on my screen. So the things that I like, okay, the neck and the shoulders. The fact that the blue just goes up into this section of the neck and then into this little line up here as well. Very clean upper half of the jersey, which is perfect. From the shoulder line up, perfect jersey. The laces also, I like that they're in there. Typically, Stadium Series jerseys don't have laces, so it's kind of interesting to see those in there. The bottom of the jersey, the little bit of the yellow at the bottom, I think that's okay as well. Maybe a little bit too thick for my liking, that's what she said. But if we just make it a little bit thinner, that the bottom would be perfect for me. Now the middle. In my opinion, there are so many issues with the middle. It's close to being a good jersey. Like, some people despise the fact that it says Smashville on there, or there's even text on there. The fact that they didn't go with one of the previous generations of the logo, or a different version of the logo, or the guitar pick just massive. People are so pissed at this. I'm typically not a fan of textual style logos on the front of jerseys either, but I don't mind them putting Smashville on there. My issue isn't that it's on there, it's the execution behind it. There are a lot of questionable decisions with the actual text and layout in general of all of this. But before I get into my criticism, I want to go back to a previous jersey by them. I'm going to bring it up on the screen here. It's their Winter Classic jersey. Does it look familiar? Absolutely it looks familiar. They've basically done this similar design before in the past in 2020 with the Winter Classic. There it is. You've got text on the front there with the team name in a backing stripe, stylized text, and you know, this jersey was criticized when it first came out, but as time moved forward, people I think really started to appreciate it, myself included. I still don't love it, but it is okay. That drives me nuts at the bottom of the P touches the stripe though. But let's go back to the other one here that I was just looking at, and let's dissect this. Okay, the middle guitar pick area is beautiful. I love that. The bevel just in the N and the P, just around the edges, like, that is such an intricate and lovely decision there. The stars look like it has a bit of a bevel as well. So I think up close, that specific section of this jersey is going to look amazing. But it's everything around it that is questionable, in my opinion. The numbers being blue on the sides in the yellow stripe to match the blue of the jersey, great decision. I really like that as well. But let's start off with the C first. Why the hell is the C way over to the right? I feel like they came up with the middle design and they had the Smashville coming outside of the yellow onto the blue on the top and on the bottom with, you know, the Ville along the bottom of the Ville. And then like, oh crap, well, what about the A and the C? We already decided on the letter size and it doesn't fit on top of the text. We have no choice but to toss it over to the far right and stick it there. Like, it looks so out of place and so ridiculous. I hate it. That's probably the thing I hate most about the front of this jersey, is that the C is not in the traditional place, and then it's way over on the side where you're going to get this movement area where it's going to be hidden. Like, look at the C here. Look how far over this way it is. Imagine if this C was way over here instead. Like, it's going to be hidden all the time. Not that that's a big deal, but even from a wearability perspective like this, having something digging into my armpit would be pretty friggin' annoying. So I really hate that the C is there. It drives me nuts. Something else that drives me nuts isn't necessarily the font, but it's the decision to change up the S. There's two different stylizations or fonts of the S. There's a very thick boy and there's a very thin boy. And what even drives me nuts more than that is the kerning between the letters. If you look off to the right between the S and the H, the kerning, it's quite tight. But on the left between the S and the M, it's also pretty close, but it's not identical. The kerning is different between some of the letters. The bottom, the vil, is very close, if not perfect, for its kerning. I just don't understand it. Like, why would you use two different S's and then change up the kerning? And why do the letters come off of the yellow onto the blue? Is that required? Like, let's bring them down and contain it into that stripe. And I know it's supposed to be larger than life and it's coming off the screen, and I understand why they made the decision. I understand what this represents, okay? It's kind of cool, but I just don't like the fact that it bridges up into the rest of the jersey. Put it in the yellow. That would help with movement as well. So I think some little decisions here have really kind of destroyed the credibility in a way of this jersey. I'm quite disappointed actually in this. It would be so much better even, keep the S's like they are, keep the kerning like it is, whatever, but bring it down into the yellow stripe. And I just don't feel like it needs to be connected. At least it's connected on the top and the bottom here, unlike the Winter Classic. So they got that right, I guess. But it's obviously completely different than the Winter Classic, but it's so similar at the same time. Like this, they're trying to be innovative, but they're not at the same time. So on that note, I will say that so many teams go the traditional route and go the safe route, and it's very difficult to come out with a bold design that people adore and love. We understand this with the New Jersey Devils alternate that just came out. They tried to be bold and people hated it. So I have to at least applaud the team for doing something extremely modern, and they tried to kind of be innovative in a way. So I really appreciate that. Like, not enough teams do that. So even though I'm not a Nashville Predators fan, even though I'm typically not a great fan of their current jerseys other than the reverse retro, I have to really appreciate the fact that they just kind of went for it. There's not enough of that for teams. And so some positive even in the negative here. I want to look at the back of the jersey, and this is also an area that really pisses me off. So the font of Preds in the top of the collar, there's a bit of perspective issues here. It's making it look worse than it is, I think. But it looks, have you guys ever seen a Rugrats font? It's like the thick version of that font, or maybe like a Ren and Stimpy font or something. It just looks like a kid drew it, and it just, I don't know, it just feels so out of place to the rest of the jersey. The word Nashville at the back where the nameplate would go, it's so uniform, and the stripes are symmetrical, the numbers are symmetrical, they look different. I think that's just because of the perspective of the way that the jersey is kind of bending. But then you've got this like unaligned Preds font up here that the E is way wider than it needs to be, and then the R and the D are way thinner. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's the opposite of uniform. It's chaos, and it just doesn't match the rest of the jersey in my opinion. So I just don't understand the decision behind that. Now let's move down the jersey. You've got the Adidas logo, which is always there, which is fine, but it's white. So Preds yellow, white Adidas logo, yellow Nashville font or nameplate font, and then white numbers on the back. So yellow, white, yellow, white. At least there's a bit of pattern there, but it just looks wrong. It looks very out of place. You've got yellow striping along the side. There is no white on the side of the jersey to complement that. The white looks amazing on the blue, but the yellow also looks amazing on the blue. So why not make the numbers yellow like the nameplate, or make the nameplate the same color as the numbers and have it be white? So I just don't really understand the decision making on the back of the jersey here. I will say that based on the gloves and some of the other equipment that we can see, I think it's going to look actually pretty good on the ice, but it doesn't necessarily feel like a typical hockey jersey to me. It's very Stadium Series. Like, I'll give them that. Stadium Series jerseys are supposed to be bold and different and in your face and whatnot, and that's great. And they've really nailed that aspect of it. It is all those things. But from an individual jersey perspective, I just think there's a lot of questionable decisions and maybe missed opportunities, and what looks to be honestly mistakes. Like, I know it's not, and I know it's designed the way it is for a reason. I just don't like some of those middle aspects of it. So I don't hate it as much as everyone else. I love the blue. Like, the blue is so beautiful, and I'll probably purchase this jersey just based on the blue, based on the guitar pick on the front and some of the other intricacies. But I am unlikely to get it stitched based on the colorization decisions of the numbers and the location of the C. So I think this was probably a better jersey that is empty versus a jersey that is filled up with a player's name and number. And I'm only going to buy it if it goes on sale. I'm not spending full price on this, that's for sure. So that's kind of my thoughts on this jersey. Out of 10, maybe a 4. 5 at the very best. I think this is a missed opportunity. It's not terrible, but there's just so many other concepts out there that are amazing. It is quite amazing that a team has come out with a jersey, again, in recent, past couple of weeks, that the majority of people don't like. Like, how are we in this position where there are literally thousands of amateur and professional, semi-professional graphic designers out there, concept designers, who are coming up with better designs than what actual teams are producing? This isn't 10 years ago, okay? Like, there is such a community, there's such a skill set out there now is unbelievable. The community is amazing. You guys are awesome. How are we in this position where we keep getting jerseys that the majority of people dislike? Where are the committees that have to approve this? Who are a part of these committees? Is Adidas making the decisions here, or is Nashville making the decisions here? Is there a position available for me to apply for? Because I would love to, Adidas, hey, how you doing? I'm Neil. I would love to apply for a position at your company and be part of the jersey, at least review committee. I don't want to design the damn thing. I just want to kind of review it, okay? Because I look at a lot of people's designs on the channel, a lot of concepts, and I read a lot of comments as well, so I know what people want. So if you're listening, call me. I'd love to be at least part of the decision making. And because this is just this questionable decision here. Anyways, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. We'd love to hear from you. Hope you guys are having a great day. Please subscribe if you are not subscribed, and get my thoughts on that Tampa Bay jersey, because I got some teasers back here. You got that Bolts Classic Reebok one, and then that home one up there. So it's almost a combination between those two with a bit of a stylization as well from potentially a Team Canada jersey. So we're going to discuss that on the channel tomorrow. I will not let today end with a negative note here on this jersey video. Tonight, as usual, we're looking at jersey concepts, guys. A full suite of NHL jerseys, and these are labeled classic jerseys. So some pretty interesting ones in there. It's not going to be a reaction video. It's going to be a ranking video. So if you're not subscribed, and if you don't have that notification bell turned on, go down, hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. That's going to be released in the next couple of hours. So would love to hear your thoughts on those concepts as well. Have a great day. I'll talk to you very soon. Adios.